Hello everyone, and welcome back to the stream. Today we're not actually going to be doing any flying today. I've had a couple of requests for some information about the add-on for X-Plane 11 called SmartCopilot. So in this video, very brief installation and how to get it set up with another fellow simmer. So the download I'll post in the links below. You can get a trial version. I think it's a 10-day trial version, which will give you limited capabilities of using SmartCopilot, which essentially gives you the ability to add a copilot. I'm going to assume you've got the download. First things first, both sides, so both sims are going to need exactly the same version. Now for this version haven't used it for a little while, but I have installed version 2.08. So the person you are connecting with will need to have that same exact version. The other thing is you need a config file for each aircraft that you want to fly with SmartCopilot. It doesn't work default out of the box. On the SmartCopilot site there are a number of configuration files you can download for a number of different aircraft. One of the ones I've enjoyed is there is one for the Baron B58 with the reality expansion pack, so that adds. As we found one thing didn't work, which was actually quite annoying. The starter switch didn't work, but there are ways around that. And obviously there's the 737 Zibo mod, which I think a lot of people are probably using as well. That does also work with SmartCopilot. The last time I haven't tried this mod and the Zibo mod for quite some time, so I don't know where the development's at with both of them. You've both got the same version of SmartCopilot. You've both have to have exactly the same config file for the aircraft, and that is copied into the aircraft root folder. Once you've got both of those things in, there's also the port forwarding on your router on both sides. For this demonstration, if you can see on screen, I'm actually using its remote port 56897. For the points of this video, I can't go into the configurations of every single router out there. You will need to look into port forwarding for the individual routers you're using and how to port forward to your local IP address. Again, it's all fairly straightforward. If you've played simulators in the past, if you've done multiplayer gaming in the past, this should all be things you're fairly familiar with. So anyway, I've got all those things installed, I've got all that port forwarding set up, and I've now come into X-Plane, and as you can see, I've opened up the three main windows of SmartCopilot. I will say I do have a registered version here. In the demo version you may get some pop-up windows that are telling you you're using a time-limited version. So yeah, the top window you'll usually open by default. Direct connections you open from plugins, SmartCopilot direct connections, and network setup you open from setup. You need to configure you're going to need to know the other person's IP address. Likewise, they're going to need to know your IP address. Be aware that may change. Your internet IP address is not always fixed. I'm quite a lucky soul. I have a fixed IP. So anyway, in the direct connections, we give our connection a name. In this instance, I've given it the name Carston. And you put in the IP address of the other person. I'm going to talk as master and slave, so I act as a master, the other person would connect to me as a slave. So we're putting in a remote IP of the slave, the other person, and as I've mentioned before, we're using port 56897. You may need to add or even update, depending on which. If you're adding it, obviously for the first time, self-explanatory. Add it for the first time. If it needs updating, you just click update. For the network setup, you're probably going to need to select the network card that you're connected to the internet with, or whatever is showing as your internet connection. You need to select that in here. I have a bit of a strange network setup, so I'm just selecting 0.0.0.0. In own port, again, it's the same port as I use up here, 56897. I don't have used the UPnP, and I don't have it as auto start. So once all those items are set up, pretty much as I said there, you can click the start icon, and then as you can see, this greyish window up here, we've got the option here, master and connect. So I would be in that state waiting for a connection. What I'm going to do now is, all I would do if I was the other party, when I click start, this would actually come up slave and connected, and you'll actually get some information here. I don't have a party to connect to at the moment, so I can't show you what it looks like when it's connected. That should be pretty much the basics of connecting. I advise using alternate voice software, probably something like Discord. Unless you're sitting in the same room, you would need to use some form of voice communications, maybe TeamSpeak, Ventrilo, Discord, any of those kind of voice comms on top of or outside of X-Plane. I hope that gives you a brief explanation. I hope that gets you connected. I will try and take comments and answer any questions. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.